Hello.
Hello.
What's the time right now? It's 6:40. We're in Tukumari, we're packed up. We'll probably hit the road soon. On the road to Te Araroa to see our Uncle Robin. He's so cool and he grew up in Australia, but he's now in Te Araroa and he's been there for ages, and he's matatau te reo Māori, and he's got his mataora, and he's just constantly mowing the lawns. Like, I've never met someone who mowed the lawn so much. And I asked him, why do you mow the lawn so much? And he said, because the grass grows so fast. I was like, how can you possibly know that? You don't even give it a chance.
No mai hara mai ki Kapiti of the Cousins.
Episode 10.
Hoki mai e moko. Come back, bub.
Today we're in Te Araroa.
Yay.
At our Nani Kura's whare in the shed.
Yes.
The shed, which lots of parties have happened and lots of things have been fixed and lots of kōrero's been held. And we're here with our Uncle Robin.
Kia ora, Uncle. Kia ora, Masa, Robin.
Wānanga, I think was the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
Wānanga, or wānaka, as Jane would say.
Yeah, wānanga with a couple beers. It's amazing being here in Te Araroa and just like smelling the air and feeling the way, like even just the breeze going past, it's just like a completely different wairua.
Yeah, that's right. It is. It's, hey, there's that kōrero there. Hoki mai ki tō, what's that kōrero?
Ki tō maunga?
Yeah, forgot the kōrero. Cut that part out.
Hoki atu ki tō maunga, kia pūrea ai koe, ngā hau o tāwhiringa.
Koe nā. What's the words I'm looking for? Ko au te awa, ko te awa ko au. Just got to come home. You know, you just got to be in touch again. There's a lot of kōrero out there. The whenua tells us a lot. We just got to probably stop, slow down and listen.
It's really interesting having this kōrero, and especially you saying that it's important to come back, because my upbringing has been in Tāmaki Makaurau. I was schooled at Te Kohanga Reo o Te Turaho Marae,
Cool.
which is it's a tūhoi marae, but it's in Auckland. And it's interesting to me, that idea of like an iwi having a physical space outside of their actual rohe. And as well as that, I feel like my home, being raised with my nanny, koko, mum, dad, Auntie Tanya, there's kaitahu in that whare, tūhoi, ngā tūparau. It's just like a real mix of completely different sort of whakaaro and histories and beliefs. And as I get older, I always wonder, who is it that I connect to the most? Which is a pretty... I don't know if that's an issue to ask that question, because, you know, all of it is me. But it's like when I'm in Te Araroa, I feel like I belong here. When I'm in Waimana, I feel like I belong there. When I'm in Rapaki, I feel like I belong there. Yeah, I guess it's just a big question for like, what does it mean to, you know, hoki ki tō whenua when you're all from all over the place? Yeah, it's something that I think about a lot, is if I wanted to go home, which home do I go back to?
That's so valid. That is such a whakaaro that I feel like I struggle with as well, because I have that exact same thing, because you said to me this morning if I would live in Te Araroa, and I sort of thought about it, but it's like the whenua or the wind was being like, yes, come on. And it's so much stronger when you're in the whenua. What is it? The challenge of balancing that with the different whakapapa and links to places. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. What do you think, Uncle Robin? What's the answer?
I think for me, what helped me, I actually had a purpose. I had a goal. I actually wanted something. I wanted that. I wanted to spend time with my nanny, and I wanted to learn the reo. There were those two things. I wanted something. The only place I really knew I was going to get it was here. that balancing you're talking about, I suppose I didn't struggle with it because there was just no balance. It was, you're here for a reason, you get this at all costs. So everything else just gets put on pause, and that's it. Just go 100%, go get your nanny, go get your reo, and everything else can balance out later on.
I have a pātai. Like, I'm probably as city as you can get. Like, I'm if I was called upon to hunt or fish or like collect any form of kai, I'd be pretty useless. Like, honestly, it would be shocking. But like,
Your cup of tea was nice.
oh, thank
It's a
you,
start.
thank you. That's the starting place. I wonder, like, I always I feel like I have this little voice inside me that's like, I wish that I could live off the whenua. I wish that I could just detach myself from this city life, because like every time I come here to Te Araroa, I feel so much better, like every part of me. But at the same time, I still am like, but I don't know how to do anything. I never grew up hunting, never grew up fishing, never grew up doing any of that stuff. And I always wonder, like, how would I learn that? And without being a hoha.
Get in there and do it.
How do you do that? You just go, can I give you a hand?
Me ako.
And then freeze to death.
Yeah. First start, come home. You got plenty of aunties, uncles around here that are in that area, in that field, who just know. You just sort of align yourself to those who know how to do it, and then just tag along. Just tag along.
I love that first part is like, first step is come home and then figure it out. Whereas I think maybe we've been thinking too much about it. We're like, what about this? What about that? Or you mentioned putia. That's something that we spoke about earlier.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
genuinely, because I feel like that is a real struggle when you're in rural communities, is like lack of opportunities in mahi. And yeah, I don't know what the answer is to that
Yeah.
either.
Or are we just hateful, spiteful city children? Like,
Yeah,
there's
or like
there's
genuinely,
nothing for us.
my understanding is that like the aunties and uncles have all the jobs, so what am I gonna do?
Like the auntie and boy. Can I have a job? You've got
Is that
them
why I
all.
think that? Because I watched Boy one time? Is that a real issue, or is that actually just my preconceptions about rural communities?
I think probably the biggest barriers that I see and hear of is, first one, people want to come home from the towns. People want to come home, but they got no money, they got no job, and they got no house. There's nowhere to live. So you might have a papakainga, but it's got whānaus already living in there. So the answer is just the opposite. Just either make money or don't worry about money. Create a job or just don't. And just come home. Come home and those things will all sort itself out. Because there are jobs around. There are jobs around. You just don't have to be picky and choosy. But money, you need money to live in these days, but it shouldn't be the first and foremost, like, the goal, which for me a lot of the times it was. It was just make money, make money. If you're not making money, you're not winning. Whereas now, as I was saying before, pretty much got no money, but it just sort of don't need it. If you make $100 a week, you're going to spend $100 a week. I guarantee if you make $1,000 a week, you're going to spend $1,000 a week. So at the end of the day, it's like money is just not a factor. When you've got a goal, so you just come home for a holiday, maybe that's the answer, just come home for a holiday and then go back to the bright lights and spend all your money.
And then go spend it.
And then when you need to come back home and whakatau i a koe anō, just ki mai ki te kāinga for that short period of time. You might not be living here 24/7. Nothing wrong with coming home in short spurts. And then probably there's the benefit in there. You come back for a little bit, you get to know that neighbour, that nanny or that neighbour, get a bit more connected with the marae, the farms. And then, after a while, you just sort of know the place inside out. You feel a bit more comfortable, and then job opportunity comes up, and we need someone to look after this place. And then, look at that, job, money, house, covered. Oh, but if you want some mahi, there's plenty of wood to chop out the back off, sure, yeah.
Got you.
Well,
Oh, that did used to be my job. I've got one
Really?
job.
Cutting wood.
Yeah.
Che.
In
I don't got that job. I haven't
okay,
done that
that's what
before,
I'm
but my job is getting the wood and bringing it to the fireplace.
No te rauno, nā hui.
the fireplace.
Ora ai te iwi, Jade.
I thought you were going to say getting the wood that's already been chopped in.
From the shed to the fireplace.
Do you put the wood in the fire or nah?
No, I'm scared of the fire, man.
So how come you watched me do all that this morning? You didn't even offer.
God.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's right, you can light it before you leave.
Lighting it is also out of my wheelhouse.
Oh,
You can get the lighter. Yeah.
yeah.
I can get it.
You
Getting
can get
the
the
thing.
lighter.
Pass
There we
the
go.
lighter.
He mahi
over to-
tiki.
That's the one.
Tēnā tōku mahi.
I'd be interested, Jay, to know what would keep you from coming back to Te Araroa? Because I have my reason, but I'd like to know yours.
Yeah, so I think it is kind of similar to you in that all of my grandparents are all in Ōtautahi. And so I think at the moment I feel like that is where I'm meant to be right now. Like I went to Te Whanganui-a-Tara because I wanted to see a bit more, but I also went for mahi as well. And I think part of that was also I was very excited to be closer to here. And so I guess I had very big dreams about visiting all the time that didn't super eventuate as much as I would have liked while I was there. But yeah, it was interesting being in Te Whanganui-a-Tara, and particularly for here I felt at times a very strong calling to come home. That I feel like I probably was like, oh yeah, that's nice, and then kind of just would keep going about my life, and then
Nice.
that's nice. I don't know if it was like a mental block or a wairua block, or just I don't know why I was ignoring it, and then obviously it got a lot louder, and then just progressively getting told more strongly and firmly, hey, come home.
Oh, no.
And I think it was like the counting the years as well, because it had been, I want to say like 5 years. And I didn't realize that much time had passed since I had been back here. And that was very pody for me once it like hit me of like, what have you even been up to? Like what, I guess I hadn't even realised, like, losing Nani Kura was obviously a massive loss and a massive mamae for our whānau as well. But just really seeing how that was like, I suppose, impacting some of my decision around coming home. And I think some of that was moke and not wanting to face it as well. And I say every time, the whole 2 times we've been back.
But it was 100% of those times.
100% of those 2 times. I do say to you, and I'm like, I'm sad that like we're here and Nana's not here. And so I feel like that is, yeah, it's hard, but it also is lovely being closer to her and to Papa Socks and to our whānau who are still here as well. Sorry, that got a little bit deep.
Yeah, no, mean.
I think it's amazing how a lot of this kōrero has actually been anchored by kaumātua and pakeke, and you know how they're often the reason why we come back is
Yeah.
because there's a whakatauki about the people will disappear but the whenua will remain, and I think that often that whakatauki is more about the whenua being able to withstand anything, but on the other side it is, people do disappear and we don't have our pakeke and our kaumātua forever, so it is so important and it is really felt when they are gone, especially when they're often what connects us to our whenua and they're often the reason why we come back. Re te anō takutake ki te noho ki te kāinga, ki a koe nā te mea i noho ana ki te taho taku karaua. Nō tūhoi ia. And I was saying to my koko, would you ever want to move back to Waimana? What do you feel about us moving back to Waimana? And
Really?
yeah, and he won't answer the question. He just go, ha ha ha. I don't know why he won't answer the question, or maybe he just didn't have his hearing aids in. But yeah, it's interesting because my reason to not come to Te Araroa is because of my koko still being alive.
Kia ora.
And he's 89 years old. And honestly, I feel like I've committed myself to him for the rest of his life, which, I don't know, it's interesting because I'm 23 right now and I just couldn't imagine like running away overseas to go party or to go live my life. There's a few things in the world that I think come first, and I'd say kaumātua is one of those things.
Tika tōru. Yeah, definitely 23 years old. That's exactly where you need to be at this point of your life, next to your koko, because yeah, the thing that whakataiki you're looking for is whatu ngaro he tangata, toi tū te whenua. And, you know, we often say it on the marae here is, you know, ka whānau mai te tangata ki roto i tau huri nei, ko tōna hoa haere, ko te mate. You know, so you only got a short time, you just need to live it up with those knowledgeable people around, because they're not around forever. And once they're gone, they're gone. And that's it, you don't get a choice if you're here today or tomorrow. You don't get a choice. When your time's up, so make the most of it whilst you can. Nei, a koe rangatahi ana, mahi ata mahi, a koe rangatahi ana. Because you don't get those moments back.
You're here. This is you. You're not going anywhere else, are you?
No, not today, no.
No. Do you feel
Wrong answer.
Do you feel like you're not giving as much attention to your other hapu and your other whānau?
100% I'm not, yeah. 100%. But that was a deliberate choice that I made, because Nan was here and this was it. This is where I was coming, but these are choices, decisions now I've got to figure out now. Where's the balancing out that Jay talked about before? I feel like I filled my bucket up here, achieved those aims, those goals that I came back to achieve, and now what's on the horizon now? Do I go back to Te Arawa? Well, I can't even say go back there. Do I go to Te Arawa and learn that side? Do I go to Waikato and learn that side? Just got to try and figure it all out. But at the moment, I feel I just want to just relax at home here for a bit and just soak up the years of the mātauranga, just the years, the connections it's made, because I find that if I'm not here, Auntie's all right, Auntie Bev, myself, Auntie Bev and Darlene live here, but I was the one that was driving Nanny Kura around. I was the one that the old people knew. And then so now Nan's not around anymore. So when I go around, so even just the other day at one of the funerals we had here, some of the aunties, when the aunties see me, straight away they said, oh, Nanny Kura. They didn't see me. They saw her. So it was like, wow, you know, got those, Eka, would you put in that biscuit? Yeah, and I just sort of laughed and smiled and went sort of, yeah, cracked it, because, yeah, that was the dream, that was the plan, and then now it's coming to fruition. So when I see people, you know, she just buried her mother, you know, so when she sees me, sees our Nan, it gave her strength to sort of put a smile on her face for that day. I was like, why would you go anywhere else? Because you've already got something. Yeah.
Kia ora, uncle.
But I still want to go. Still want to go to those other areas. But obviously it's not now. It's not anytime soon. But when that time happens, that time will happen. Yeah, for now it's just soak it up and keep the fires burning, I suppose. That's what it's all about. Keep the fires burning. Yeah.
Ko koe te ahi ka i konei.
Ai,
Pono Amerika.
tētahi o ngā hika.
Ai.
Te ahika. I feel like throughout the kōrero there's been, you know, we've touched on so much. From the get-go it sounds pretty simple, urban Māori, rural Māori. I feel like we talk about it all the time. But we've just gone into so much more than just that binary, where it's lots of worlds weaving together over timelines and, you know, thinking about whakapapa, place, knowledge, matauranga, all weaving together. So, you know, you can't really have this, you're either urban or you're either rural, you'll always be one thing, you'll always be the other thing. It's just not as simple as that. Be humble. That's the biggest takeaway.
Today.
Be humble, kia ngāwari hoki.
And come home.
And come home, yeah, hoki mai ki te kāinga.
And learn how to light a fire. And I'll learn how to carry a pig out the bush. Got to get some bigger muscles before that happens.
Kia ora, Uncle. This has been really awesome. Just that sharing of mātauraka, mātauranga. And being able to learn from you, it's a real privilege for us as well. To get to know you a little bit better.
The Uncle Robin.
The Matua Robin.
Matua Robin. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Nā New Zealand On Air I tautoko.
Made with the support of New Zealand On Air.